was ya Ghana for Kasa gidi na Ghana for Ghana for say Dr. Dominic Ayini Ekuritinga at the Abutseka Imano Kumi yini minanse in sense I'm sorry ye be na otwe ene na kakra atwam ye che no say some Roman scam empire or non Abutseka or the colleagues be involved the Attorney General Ghana Police Service Cleveland Federal Bureau of Investigations Yoko Ghana and NIB ejina kan wonu hubo mu na kire say onom echo arrest Abutseka based on the fact say omo gather some evidence pointing to the fact say Abutseka, that is the popular name sir Abusaye nyina yenim say we are US or mine some elderly people within Ohio State Island TV Plus say your first time I obeje bre na utie no subscribe no wa share video no na afoforo so enye bi ahwe se munya mbeka ya on the 11th of December ana Abutseka ya arrested no aban eso ne paachi ndi sa na asanteka se me ka no aban aso ne paachi ene ba ye omo a wono mo Abutseka ene nkofo bi kura ate wo mu bu monten Abutseka yampene well and some social media influencers tech in P kwano and no betum bi say kurumu ankasa ye serious because so the high profile corruption cases are AC amongst high profile personalities especially politicians are omo kwan say samiente hwe and so Abutseka they are all of a sudden the pop up no now the US investigation body e ha no mo a Ghana investigation bodies assist almost na be ya o metimi extradite Abutseka and then na yanga say politicians and o moti krum ha o wuya ye ne de ye hu na hu na mutu obi a ni nyina no e de kan na appointed to Ken.Ofori former finance minister e de ebra sesemi ba ye no a tech MP ono Ghana ni a wakotra US abrochimam na che se ogusu a according to him no Ghana hon says no ehia no it is asenti Ghana he's still a Ghanaian therefore there 5 was say ordinary no tumbie na odi enkomo no bi na o say sa wo hwe sika Abutseka awia compared to the quantum some of the politicians that they have been accused and answer indicted sika ono mawia na we say peanuts peasant just enye sika mu bia enti say if this is what Abutseka we are $8 million and also we are involved in $8 million Roman scam mpono it is doing all of these things imagine near politicians sika omo we are ebetumi aye multiply that by times 20 times 30 and then even times 60 any o can send bebre na enra ana the Attorney General Ghana and I say Minister for Justice Dr. Dominic Ayini Ekuritinga Dr. Dominic Ayini Ekuritinga the DNA now on government accountability series of course the NDC a new dimension one wafa say ono bekoso ne Ghana for akasa abo Ghana for amane send aswafo ahodo ni nyina edi wo mudwuma edi nche kwara ana aswafo ahofo edi wo mudwuma nti afa na adu Minister for Justice and I say Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayini Ekuritinga enso so na eno ne kasa yemu no ana obo aso say officially was submitted extradition request e be ama the US investigative authority and I say investigative bodies say omo na Ken.Ofori Atta our former finance minister omra e say aban no de kwadu e be say ebiosun anwotwe 78 charges and I just say they abo Ken.Ofori Atta e also oba na obeyi sa charges na no enti ono de ohwe say US aban no e be ne mwa nanka kwadu odo de abo Ken.Ofori Atta no watimi ede no aba eye oman Ghana mu na otimi a charge eye Ken.Ofori Atta obi nsem bia no if he said Ghana ni, I mean, after all, what is the point of running away? Of course, no is stemming from a lawyer Martin Pebu, a legal practitioner. Of course, you know, sense them on it, but you go there now, on the government accountability series, you know, after say AG, the presentation, you know, and you know, and let you share on them. Ebinum say onum wo nsemisa kakra onbeso ombusa attorney general ensem kakra efa presentation awaya no ana one of the presenters ana onum no say lawyer da wase attorney general da wase papa any presentation ade amai na Ghana fo no bi edi nkomo say ye fe bibi the law of reciprocity so reciprocity reciprocal and I just say it is coming from the word reciprocity na wo hwe sanye Ghana kikin yadimrika na yade ebutreka ede akoma US aban no se omo no kwadu if say we are US for some of the elderly people no enti omo ebutreka kwadu dia adan na sa won na yenso yenka na US for no enzo fa Ken.Ofori Atta emfa mayen efri say ye ne wonum ewo ayonkoye na eno na Dr. Dominic Ayini akuri tinga Dr. Dominic Ayini akuri tinga say question now it is a very valid question nebom dice kakra if you say uridi the 1931 treaty Ghana and the United States of America signed a bit of history treaty back in the days back in the 1930s through to the 1950s and 57 Ghana dinya fa hodie no ekwan ya fa so ne England and US signed this particular treaty now my say the treaty still holds Cherished obi ni bone now Ghana na se bone e obi ye etia US citizens are well Ghana ne sa oman no US in this case obutimi ye sa ekobodi die no so obutimi ye sa ekita ho no na ye be fa sa criminal no e de no ko US sa so na se obi ti US na odi dream e de fa Ghana fo ho a na Ghana fo e de ko aduko e de koma US investigative bodies no omo betimi aboaye e de nipa na Ghana etini amoka na de wo baba na emo the issue and say Ken.Ofori Atta ahai a some of the top lawyers within the US now this Ken.Ofori Atta fire no it's making me asking these kind of questions is it that na wo I mean, with the cases Attorney General and Office of the Special Prosecutor, they are born not all one say the government of Ghana will come after him because I don't get it. If you feel say why are you going to hire lawyers? I mean, because in the US hiring top lawyers and according to Dr. Dominic Ayini according I was say why top lawyers also there. And that's US top lawyers, you have to pay them some $500,000 and then to some millions of dollars. And wow, and Dr. Dominic Ayini in relation to a questioner, one of the attendees are no more program national.
Thank you very much. The first question relates to the principle of reciprocity, whether we should expect that the U.S. authorities, having taken some Ghanaians by way of extradition to the United States of America, will also, in exchange, reciprocate by extraditing Ken.Ofori Atta to Ghana. Now, the principle of reciprocity underlines extradition proceedings. And usually, without a bilateral treaty or a multilateral treaty arrangement that obligates a state to extradite persons accused of crime that are found within its territory to another country, usually extradition cannot take place. In the case of Ghana and the United States of America, there is a 1931 extradition treaty that was signed between the United States of America and Great Britain when Ghana was a colony of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Now that treaty expired as far as the the United Kingdom is concerned. So it's no longer applicable between the United States and the United Kingdom. But it has not expired. It was renewed when we became independent in 1957. And so it is still in existence between Ghana and the United States. Now, if you look at Article 3 of that extradition treaty, it lists the extraditable offenses. And then it also provides the principles of extradition, okay, of which reciprocity is one, all right? But extradition is based upon certain legal principles, okay? Now, if the extraditable if the offense, for instance, does not fall within the ambit of the extraditable offenses provided under the treaty, it will be very difficult for the person to be extradited. Okay, if, for instance, there is a sense that persecution will take place rather than prosecution, that a person will not be treated fairly if extradited, it's most likely extradition will not take place. If you cannot show by your extradition packet, that is the request that you have sent to the U.S., that the one that I have sent to the U.S., there is sufficient evidence, okay, to come to a conclusion, a reasonable conclusion that a crime has been committed, even though you still have the burden to prove that crime beyond reasonable doubt, all right, extradition may not be granted. So the basic point I want to make is that, yes, the principle of reciprocity applies, okay, and I would have been very happy to hand over Abu Trika as I have done, okay, and then get Ofori Atta quickly in return, all right? But usually, the extradition proceedings take place in a court of competent jurisdiction. In our case, that is the district court, all right? In the U.S., it will also be the federal district court. Now, mind you, the person who is the subject matter of extradition will fight it in court. Okay, so the American authorities won't just take my request and say, here you are, here is Ken.Ofori Atta, and then here is, his other accomplished, and you take them, and then they can face trial. It will have to go through court proceedings in the U.S., all right? And I just got to know, that he has hired some of the top, yesterday, I got to know that he has hired some of the top lawyers in the United States of America, very experienced lawyers, to, defend him. Now, I'm not afraid at all right? I am not afraid at all. But it means that there's going to be a fight in the federal courts in the U.S. If the district court says no, he will go to the circuit court, all right? If the circuit court says no, he's entitled to go to the U.S. Supreme Court to fight his case. So I cannot tell you that he will come tomorrow or he will come the next day, okay? And I'm just being honest. Accounting to the people means being explicit and truthful. So this is what, we are faced with. But I have, on behalf of the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, we have taken the requisite steps to bring him to Ghana to face trial. And if I...
Na, legal practitioner, lawyer Martin Pebu, Ghana for Abaso, Ghana for Outwa, Kase, Mumfa, Abutse Kanko, Namufa Ken.Ofori Atta man, good initiative, if we say, Uti me fa, Yenipa Ankwasa Aqua, Miwa, yes, high individual or involved in high profile scandal. Enti utim emefa no nkosa kwa abra o ma hwe asante phone e o kasa bi se ensako ne nsaba hand come therefore there five say over five buti ka kwode a ene e wo sa mo so mo de Ken.Ofori atama ye na questions bia na ye wo no yetimi ewisa no na eno na a legal practitioner na ono nso eche na dwen e de yafa saa ensem no say ne Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ayine Akuritinga no good na nice presser.
You see the Abutrika, and I'm happy that a lot of ordinary Ghanaians, the netizens, the citizens on the social media, they are beginning to ask questions that why are we sending Abutrika when the US hasn't brought down Ofori? So it will come to a time we will also
the Attorney General was asked that question, and he indicated that it's not that easy because these are matters that are legal. And so that kind of condition of an exchange has to be part of the conversation right from the onset.
Yes. So when we push, so I'm happy. As I said, I'm happy about those citizens who started raising that Abutrika should not be taken there until the U.S. government is giving us assurances that they also bring down Ofori. You know, the Attorney General, he has to, naturally, he's a politician, so he has to more or less, he has to be careful. All right. What I can say, the Attorney General cannot say. So I can be blunt because I'm trying to rally citizens that we should understand that this game, if we don't stand up for ourselves, the U.S. government will not take us serious. So when we stand up, that's what I'm saying. Can you imagine if 10,000 citizens turn out for the demonstration? The message, because you know the diplomatic circles, they also do spying. Okay, so there are spies in Ghana. There are people in Ghana who spy for the U.S. government.
I see.
Right? So when they say that, hey, Charlie, the country is hot, the citizens have understood that this thing is basically a political thing. So it's within your means to bring Ofori down. If you don't, you lose goodwill. And you know the U.S. Enjoys a lot of goodwill in Ghana, etc. So if you don't bring down this man, you will lose a lot of goodwill in Ghana, etc. And it can lead to other ramifications. They will set up. But the moment we leave this things for a few so-called experts and elites and commentators, the fight is lost. So This fight is for Ghanaians. And the Attorney General can help us in this fight by constantly giving us information, updates.
Anyway, say US for Kwana, say, of course, yes, Ghana for the woman who here Ken.Ofori ato. Near Ben said, a year US for no, near send goodwill in governance, no. One person may lose goodwill, right, in the global world. And in your man said, well, if it is done necessary, and yet, Mama Dana, Ken.Ofori Emra Ghana. Na one Ghana mrano emesia emefe so na se bibi wo no mo a e wo so oba no be ansa after all you are a Ghanaian. What prevents you from coming back to your own country? Abusia Island TV Plus ye ni age se woni age video no ho obe like video no wa share no or subscribe channel no e dey amane se na be ya anytime bia na e be upload video no ubenya through your notification na fe wahwe na oni afoforo nso ache.